everybody, I'm Matt Burns, and we're backstage here with Nest co-founder and VP of Engineering, Matt Rogers. You did great out there.
Thank you.
That was a very interesting panel.
It's a lot of fun. I mean, I've always wanted to do robotics, actually.
Right, sure, and you almost got a taco.
I almost got a taco, yes.
Yeah, so we had that copter fly in and drop a taco right there.
That was definitely amusing. So usually you don't want to do those kind of live demos, but it went well.
I mean, we're TechCrunch. So
Exactly.
What's going to happen? Nothing. It's going to work every single time.
Exactly.
It's great.
Yes.
Did you know that we were going to do that?
I found out just as we got out there.
That's great.
Went well though.
So Nest Labs, you guys do thermostats.
We're a thermostat company. Today.
That's pretty neat. Oh, today?
Today.
Going to be something different in the future?
So you don't build a company of this size, of this scale, with this talent to just do one product.
Sure.
At some point soon.
So since you set that ball, let me hit it down. What's your next product?
So when you look at the home and you see
I see how you're going to circle around me here.
all the other unloved white plastic crap in your home.
Sure, like a toaster.
There's lots of it. There's a
Okay.
lot of white plastic crap in
Right.
the home. That'll keep us busy for years.
Coffee machine. Lots of things, huh?
Lots of things.
Okay, great. I see you getting a little nervous here. I'm guessing that Nest is working on some pretty neat things.
Indeed.
So you guys have that thermostat, and I have one in my home too. And my kids love to play with it.
So we added features to actually engage children as well. So the thing
That's
like
great.
the green
Yeah.
leaf,
Uh-huh.
like we put that green leaf in because we wanted to basically engage kids, to give them something fun to see, and actually to teach them about energy efficiency. Like, how do you pick a number?
Right.
You pick it based on the green leaf.
Well, that's really neat. You're very smart. It works for me too. I know you built it for children, but for my simple brain, it worked really well because my energy bills have dropped because of it.
That's awesome.
So, Nest, why did you start Nest?
So I started Nest for a lot of different reasons, but one, the energy problem was gigantic. And as soon as Tony and I started talking about doing thermostats and learned more about the industry,
Sure.
it became obvious that we had to go do it.
Right.
Half of home energy, thermostats, mind blown. Right? It's pretty obvious when you start thinking of it that way. But also there's a need to build great products. And there's not a lot of great products in the home. The home is still kind of 1980s,
Yeah,
even
exactly.
1950s.
Right. It's really clear when you walk through Home Depot.
Yep.
And then
Exactly.
you see everything, and then you walk through Lowe's, and then you see the Nest sitting there.
As soon as you walk in, right?
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
And it is a different experience. It is a future product that's in a home center that's really special.
So you can see where we're going to go, right? Like that's
Yeah.
if you think about like what does a Nest roadmap look like? What does Nest become? When you start walking through Home Depot and Lowe's, you could see how that store can totally change.
Sure. So, I mean, seriously though, what brought you to Nest?
So it's a very long journey, but it starts when I was about 3. And I bought a Mac Plus, so my dad bought me a Mac Plus, and I loved it. I loved the Apple product, I loved the Apple experience, and the fact that a 3-year-old could play with a computer and actually understand how it worked
Right.
tells you a lot about the user experience, and that brought me on a journey to Apple. Along that journey, in high school, I did a program called FIRST. So Dean came in of DECA, started this program for high school kids to get involved in robotics.
Right.
And I loved it. Like, we built these robots that picked up balls and put them in hoops.
Robots are great.
And robots are great. I was like, I'm gonna go build robots. And I applied to Carnegie Mellon to get into basically the robotics program, and I did, and I loved it. I started working with this professor, Yoki Matsuoka, on a robotic hand. Like, can we make a hand that would actually mimic the human's hand in terms of tendons and bones? And what I realized is that this technology, combined with that technology at Apple, could be a great company. I just didn't know what the company was yet.
Sure.
And these all things came full circle in that now Tony from Apple, Yoki from Carnegie Mellon, and Matt from both are now together building a company.
Building a thermostat company.
Building a thermostat
company that's going to build different things in the future.
Yes, indeed.
Great. I have children as well, and it is interesting. If you start early enough, you can really set their course in life. And your father did that at 3 with the computer.
That's right. Getting involved with technology, building the interest, not shying away from it, not feeling afraid to try new things, and it works wonders. And like, as a kid, building things with Legos, building toy robots.
Sure.
It doesn't necessarily teach you how it's built, but it gets you intrigued enough so that when you're able to, you want to get involved.
Right now, my big thing in my house is building kid projects with the Raspberry Pi.
Awesome.
So I've done an emulator machine, I've done AirPlay machines, so they have their own AirPlay speaker set in their room that they programmed.
Yeah, that's awesome. So it gives them an opportunity to learn like how these things work, how it's built, and exposure to technology when they're young. It's awesome.
It's different for children for the Raspberry Pi and codes, because their only other experience of computers is an iPad. And with an iPad, it's magic.
Yes.
And then with the Raspberry Pi,
It's Linux.
it is. Yes, exactly.
Yes.
And so they see both sides, and we're working our way to games. And the secret here is I have no idea what I'm doing.
We learn together.
We do, yes.
Yes.
So I spend the day Googling when I should be working, and I get everything set in a different tab, and then when they come down after school, and then we go through the whole project together.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's really good.
It's a model for, I think, how you get more kids involved in engineering and building companies.
Sure.
Is you have to get them when they're really young.
Then perhaps maybe someday down the road, my 6-year-old will grow up to build a next thermostat company.
You never know.
That's really the goal.
Yeah, exactly.
And work at Apple along the way.
Or build the next Apple.
Sure. All because of Raspberry Pi, and like in your case, that computer, the Apple.
Exactly.
Year 3. So great. Well, Matt, thank you so much for coming to this.
No problem.
I hope you had a great time.
It's great to be here.